So, more agents. So, the more I keep doing this, the more various questions. So, I'm going to state one thing. I kind of knew a couple of things about this season because I kind of knew. When sort of a couple of TV shows was out, I was on the ooh, look, what are people speculating? How will this end? Etc. etc. With Loki, season 1, season 2, did that. There was one channel I kept watching, etc. etc. One of which was during WandaVision. You can see where this is going. One of the major things with WandaVision is the Book of Necronomicon, or I don't remember the example. But that book shows up in this season. And it looks a bit different. I don't know, again, this is the major thing of, like, is this canonical? Because the book is different. Like, before, it didn't really matter because the movies didn't really have the book. So this could have this book, and it could sort of be canonical there, etc., etc. But with this being in both and having a different design, it is interesting of, is this still a thing? Is it still canonical? But I like it. I like the ghost aspect. I like the thing people try to create this material. I like the part where like they split. I also like spoiler time. So through season 4, the sort of major plot is split up into two segments. One problem at the beginning, one problem near the end. So to be fair, that's how I'm gonna do it. Even though I might talk more about the second part than the first. But I do need to talk about the first and how I think it's good. One, you have the Ghost Rider. Obviously this is a different one. The one that I remember when I was younger was the Ghost Rider played by Johnny Cage. But this one is so interesting and so cool. And even the two movies of Ghost Rider, it is stated that there are other riders who have different modes of transport, i.e., one of them was on a horse. So one in a car isn't bad. Even though a car legitimately looks one of the coolest cars. So like, if you're gonna have like this sort of like rider aesthetic, it's like legitimately looking epic. But one of the things that I have that I think is important is this is all bringing up the sort of like ghostly beings that only he can deal with. Yes, he has done bad things, but they have to deal with it because of that. Right? So we deal with these sort of ghostly beings who I think is good. They've dealt with the book before and it's gone wrong. And they died because of someone else, which I think is good. It's a whole revenge thing, which is done really well. I don't think he's in any more of it. He kind of appears for this season, and I kind of think that's a bit like annoying because in season 1 and I think season 2, there's this one sort of like human who slowly gets more cybernetic and was working for the enemy, and then they tried to free him and help him, and then was about season 2, and then during some things he does come back. But that's okay. Some characters go, some characters case. This one was like, you created one of the best characters. I want more. No. I legitimately wanted more, but he's on season 5. That's what I was saying. But I do think he's really good. I don't know if there's a behind the scenes because sometimes that's a thing. But he is really cool, and I think it's really amazing. I do also like the ghost stuff, kind of having this sort of like someone made this deal. Now, my favorite part. In the early, also actually one quick thing, the one thing that I like is in the earlier seasons, I didn't bring it up because yeah, it was important, but I didn't thought it was going to be a thing. And I only realized it was going to be a thing, so my thoughts of it are impacted by it. So I didn't want to mention it until then. Joe the guy that claims to have the ability of being a human? No, he's lying. Great. Yeah, there's a couple of things where they go, Inhumans are good, no, they're bad. Good, bad. And besides season 5, which has a reason to have a whole different stake on the situation, which I kind of prefer, it's kind of doing the, Inhumans are evil. Oh no, which, if you're going to have a sort of like, Inhumans have this perception, just do it. A lot of people don't like Inhumans. They could just do that. And it's kind of feeling that. Probably not. But the one thing I do like is, during that, they create an AI. Do you know the scientist that was in season 3? Yeah, we're working with him. Why? Oh, he could be trusted, I think. He created an AI. Do you know what's with the scientist? I think he's in this one. No, he's not. But yeah, he's right here. He helped. And I like that idea that that was a major thing, that he created this AI. And slowly but surely, they blame the book for her sort of becoming conscious, which is clever. Because it creates, one, a character who's an artificial version of the character, which they know about, and it's so effed up. And the whole thing, and this is my favorite part, the virtual reality. You have this virtual reality where basically they try and remove a thing to create a better outcome. And that leads into Hydra winning. What? Not only that, you have, he's not on this, so I don't know why I pointed that. You have one of them just living a normal life. Where is he? Where's Phil Carter? Yeah, he's a teacher. I think she's working as an agent in there, and I think she's not dead. No. Yeah, she's dead, and he's a top agent of Hydra, and at a certain moment kills a person, which is so effed up that they're doing this like manipulative, controlled, and even the person who's creating it knows this was not what this was meant to be. And I like a couple of things that they bring up later about they have as a conversation. But the idea, which I think is the most interesting, do you know this guy? He was part of season 1, a major character. This one. He turned out to be a member of Hydra, which is an amazing storyline. Do you know the virtual reality? He's still a major of S.H.I.E.L.D. and fighting against Hydra. It's the whole idea of trying to bring them out of this virtual reality, and then again, you have a last twist of, a perfect duplicate gets sent to this location, shoots a person, and they're all branded as criminals again. Because she was a criminal during the beginning of season 4, turned back when they were revealed this fake mission to sort of like help, and turned into Quake, and then now that. Which is not my biggest fan. Season 4, I don't think is my favourite. I think it's not the best. I like the ghost stuff. I like the thing. The fact that they feel like they do that is a bit annoying. So yeah, I do like the season. I don't think it's bad. I just don't think it's the best one out of all of them. And the one thing I'm going to point out, which I think is really interesting, is season 1 and season 2 to a certain extent felt like spies. That's why I sort of felt like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., spy, mission, sort of like secrecy. I didn't thought it was going to be my favorite because sort of like spies and people doing this is my favorite thing. And now it's turning more into a superhero spy. I know that's the thing, it's Marvel, but it didn't felt like that during the beginning of the season. But I don't know if it's ramping up the villains or it's ramping up the heroes or both. But yeah. So yeah, Dirty Laundry season 1 review tomorrow. I hope you enjoy and good night.